All right, we are officially live and welcome to day 3 of this immersive training for Builderall 5.0. I am so excited that you're here. I'm thrilled at what we've been able to do so far in the training. And if you were here for the previous 2 days, you saw Jackie knock it out of the park with Cheetah and the super checkout and drop shipping and e-commerce. And then Terry just knocked it out of the park again with the beginning stuff on how to do Mailing Boss 5.0. or what we are calling MB5. And today we're gonna have Frank actually working in membership areas and e-learning. But before we get started, let's do some housekeeping. First up, make sure that you've got your phone handy. Oop, mine is right out here, I'm gonna get it, hold on, here we go. There it is, the phone. Make sure that phone is turned off and pushed way out of the way so it doesn't become a distraction, because Frank is gonna blow your mind with what he's gonna tell you about the membership areas and about e-learning. And e-learning especially, guys, get ready for that one. That one's a new one and it is absolutely fantabulous. So you don't wanna be distracted by your phone. Second thing, make sure you got something to write on and write with, because you're gonna hear golden nuggets dropped by Frank during this training and you don't wanna forget them. And I promise you, if you're not writing these things down, you'll be so excited about what he said. And then after the training, you're gonna be, what did he say? I didn't write it down, what did he say? You don't wanna miss those golden nuggets. So write those bad boys down. So make sure you have some paper and write with. So phone out of the way, don't get distracted. It's some a pen will be good to go. Actually, something to write on and a pen would probably be better. But we're so excited about the information that you're going to get today. The membership area and e-learning are 2 areas that I think are the probably the most underutilized features inside of Builderall, because there's so much earning power in them. So get ready. Frank's going to tell you how to do that. And I am so excited to introduce our Casey Kasem of Builderall. Let's welcome Frank Jimenez today to teach you about membership areas and e-learning.
All right, let me share my screen here. All right, guys, hopefully you guys can see my screen okay. Thank you, Shelly. And just as Shelly mentioned, I'm going to be covering membership area as well as the e-learning part of it. Now, as you guys may know, there's 2 different ways you can deliver a course, right? One's going to be through our Builderall e-learning tool. And then the other way is going to be through creating a course inside Cheetah. Now, if you're not familiar with creating a course inside Cheetah, it's okay. I'm going to kind of just do a quick outline for you to get an idea of how to do that. But what's really interesting is going to be the new addition to our e-learning tool, which is the modern theme that everybody seems to be so excited, as well as myself. I hadn't created a course yet, and I just for fun was creating courses, and I loved it and lost track of time. And so it's really a really good tool, a new addition. But let me tell you a little bit about the actual e-learning course. The standard course, the reason why some of us may have moved into creating courses inside Cheetah was because we had that flexibility to be able to create our Cheetah course more closer to our branding, more deliver a nicer look, touch, and feel kind of a deal. But the downfall or the cons of that is that you don't have that one-stop shop that the e-learning tool gives us to be able to look at statistics, right? To be able to measure progress and things like that, which is something the e-learning tool actually can do. So with that, I'm going to show you, let me pull up this image here. And I'm going to be working off of this image right here to kind of work through. And so let me just explain to you what I've done here. One, I've gone into the actual funnel builder and I've created this blueprint to help me. Now I will use this as a reference. And so what I want to reference here is all the blue dotted areas will be the password protected or the protected areas, the restricted areas that I will create. So just to kind of give you an idea of how this flows, right? This is kind of a simple VSL funnel that you can get from the funnel club. I'm sorry, from the funnel builder. If you go down to blueprints, and then you can go in and kind of adjust the pages as I have. So to get started, first I have the squeeze page where I'm going to offer a lead magnet, right? So they'll land here on my squeeze page, and we won't go through all of this. I just want to kind of give you an intro to the actual layout here. So from here, they'll give me their email, their address, in hopes to get that lead magnet. From there, it'll take them to the VSL page where I will quickly just tell them, hey, you know what, don't forget about your lead magnet coming your way, check your email, what have you. But more importantly, my video sales page, I'll use that opportunity to hopefully sell them on a membership site, okay, where I will house both different types of training. One is a members Cheetah course created training, as well as an e-course created training, okay? So here they'll go to here they'll land on the video sales page. They'll be given an option to continue on through sales, to capture the sales, right? Make the actual purchase to become a member. Or if they choose not to, they'll click on a separate link that will automatically take them down to the download page right down here, okay? So let's say they decided to opt in and become a member, right? They decided to go through the super checkout process. They paid the $24.95 that I'm going to be charging. And what they'll do is they'll access the thank you page where I will welcome them. And I will also remind them about their lead magnet that they had originally signed up for right here. This is a great place to do that. And so that they can maybe download that guide as well as take advantage of the membership area that we're about to introduce them to. From here, I'll have a button that will take them into a login page, which is the start of our membership area right in here, represented by these blue dots. Okay. So what I want to do first is I want to just kind of count the pages here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I decrease my page here, this is all my pages that I've created inside the Cheetah website, right? So all of my pages are right in here. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to go in here and create a protected area, a restricted area. Now to do that, all you have to do is go up to the very top here and select Create Members Area. And when I select this to kind of mirror the actual sheet that I was showing you, the guide, I'm going to go ahead and pick this color right over here, or as close as I can to this. And here I'm going to name my members area. So we're going to just call this members 1. Description, I'm going to do the exact same thing, members 1. And then right here, the different release types is how do you want to release the membership to the individual? They can automatically grant access, right, without payment or anything. They can go in here and register, create an account, and then they have access to your protected areas. Here we can take manual payment, which is the one I'm going to select. And then you have additional options to create courses for Builderall users, our Builderall partners and our Builderall partners premium, okay, that you can actually go in and select. This would be really good to use maybe if you're creating a team site, right, for your downline. This is a good way to do that and to grant access if that's how you wish to do it. And then down here is the authentication type. So here you have token, login, or both. I'm going to go ahead and choose login, right? It's pretty much the standard here. And then you want to choose the pages that you want to protect. Okay, so the restricted pages. So we have the squeeze page. Well, we already know which pages. It's going to be the members Cheetah course, the members area menu, and then the e-course right here. These are the 3 pages that we want to restrict, okay? So here you have your members area page, which is going to be my login here. So I'm going to go ahead and select my members area menu right here. So what I want them to do is land on a page where they'll have the option to navigate anywhere else that I created a membership area for, which is the 2 different types of learnings, okay, or the courses. Next, I have e-learning option. So what I want to do here is I want to select the actual e-learning course that I'm going to pull from my e-learning tool, right, and have made available inside this membership area, which is how to grow your YouTube channel, okay? And that's just kind of a, I don't know anything about creating a YouTube channel and growing your YouTube channel. That's just an example. But if you want to buy the course at the end, feel free to do so. So here we have redirect after login. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at normally redirect to the page. And then down here we have after exiting e-learning. After you exit the e-learning, where do you want to direct them to? I want to redirect them to that login area, the membership area menu. Okay, and I'll kind of show you that as we go through. And then here you can go in and attach a list here. So if I go right in here, I'm going to go ahead and I created a members only list inside Mailing Boss. And so now I'm going to go ahead and select save. So now once you select save, you're going to have these dots here representing the restricted area. So we've pretty much set that. So now what, if I go into any of these areas right in here, and I click on the 3 dots down below each one of these. So for example, if I click here and go to the website page, we're going to have the option to log in. Okay. Now I won't be able to log in because I selected it to the take payment part of it, right? So this isn't going to quite work until we set up super checkout, which we'll do in just a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and exit back out of here. Now, the next thing what I want to do is I want to actually go into the 2 pages that I'll be working with. One is the e-course page where I'll embed an actual e-learning from the Builderall e-learning tool, right? And that'll be done last. And then the other one is actually going into the members Cheetah page. So let's go in here and edit the page. And so to create a course inside Cheetah, what you could do is I just did this for now, but what I want to do is go right here to add. And there's already preset templates for you, which is pretty cool that you can just grab and then you can just modify exactly how you want it. So we're going to go into panels, and instead of blank panel, I'm going to go right down here, and it's about halfway down. You're going to see membership area. We're going to click here, and next we're going to go right down here, and I'm going to select one for course membership area. So if I select this here, it's going to bring down and add a brand new panel. And let me just close this so you can see. I'm going to scroll down to that area. So this is a great way to get started in creating your course inside your Cheetah page. Okay, so you have your module button here. Now this is, there's two different elements married together to make this work. The first one is going to be the accordion, right, element. And then the other one is going to be your rotation banner. Okay, so again, this is all pre-built into this template. So all you have to do is just go in and work with these and add pages or add buttons to exactly however you want to do that. Now, if I go right here and I select module and I click on module, it's going to open up just like an accordion would, and it's going to give me the options of my different lessons. So I have lesson 1 through lesson 4. So here I have my different groups that represent each page. And all I have to do is link up each one of these buttons here with that specific page over on the right. Now, what I want to do is, before we get into any of this deeper here, is anytime you're working with these elements, right, you want to click on that outer border, right? And in doing so, what you're going to have is the addition or the options to go in here and add an accordion, another separate accordion. So if I wanted to add another module, I can click here and then go in here and adjust that module exactly like that. And then if I click on the actual module button, it's going to give me this open space. So what I want to do is I want to go back up here, click on this, and I want to delete it. Next, what I want to do is, if I wanted to add another module, here's a shortcut way to do it. And of course, it's copy paste. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of click on this outer area right here. I'm going to go over here to this settings area. Like, let me right click. When I right click, my settings come up for that specific element. I'm going to go to general settings. And then here on the bottom area, I can make my bottom bigger. Actually, sitting here eating a whole bunch of munchies will also make your bottom bigger. But back to the training here. So now what I could do is I can click right here on this module, and I could select clone element. And if I clone the element, I'll go right back down to that area, and it pretty much comes close to aligning and adding my lessons here. There you go. So all you have to do is just go right here. You see there's a little bit of overlap right here. So let me go ahead and just click in this area, go right here to size, and I can adjust my container and it'll push that down a little bit. And there you go. And then all you have to do is just go in and remove or add lessons or modules, depending on how you wish. Now, the next thing we want to do is mirror this with these specific lessons. So instead of using the 0 option, right, I'm going to use this to pretty much introduce my module. So I'm going to go up here, select module, or select module 1. I'm going to delete this. And then next what I want to do is go right here to lesson 1. So I want to click here. You can add a title. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this for now. And now for the lesson 1 window right here, I'm just going to delete this. I'm going to go over here, go to elements. And instead of adding a video, I'm just going to add an image that looks like a video. So I'm going to drag this in here. I'm going to right click so my settings come up. And then I'm going to go right down here, change my image. And I'm going to select this one right here. So what's cool about this and utilizing this is that each one of these areas on your rotation banner, when you click on each one of these lessons, you have the option to go right down here and add content that is relevant to that specific lesson, which is pretty cool. So for example, if this is going to be lesson 1, right, I can right click on this button. I can click on this little set link icon right here. And then I can go right down here and select download. And when I select download, I can go up here, select the file, and I'm just going to go ahead and select this file right here and select save. Select. And now anytime somebody clicks on this button, it will open up that file for access for that specific student. Okay, so now what we want to do is go up to lesson 1, and I want to right click on this lesson 1 button. I want to click on set link. I want to go down here, rotation banners already selected. So from the drop-down menu right up here, if I select the drop-down menu, I'm going to go down to page 1. And then I'll go down here and do select. Same thing for lesson 2. Even though I didn't put anything for lesson 2, I'm going to go in here, rotation banner, and same thing. I'm going to select page 2. Now, to add another page, right, because it seems like we've got a lot of modules or lessons, right, and we don't have enough pages, again, just click on the outer part right up here. You're going to see a small little menu button pertaining to your actual rotation banner. If you click on the plus, add page, it's going to do that. It's going to add a page for you. And you're pretty much set, as long as you're mirroring or adding the specific links to open up to the right slider or rotation banner. So for this example, let me go right back up here. Oops. And let me just show you how this is working here so far. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of here. And instead, I'm going to open it up from my Cheetah page. So right in here, I'm going to go to the website page. Oh, and I forgot I have it password protected. So we'll see this as we go through the actual purchase, and I'll show you how that works. But first, let's go right back in here. And next, what I want to do is I want to go in here and I want to, wait a minute, I don't want to do that yet. I'm going to layer this up, this title right here, and I'm going to move this in place of this. So let me delete this. And let's move this right down here. Now let me go up here, select this panel, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this panel. Again, that was just for the sake of the training part of that. I think if let me see if I click on preview here. So here, if I go to module 1 and I click on lesson 1, go figure. All right, let me refresh. Oh, I'm so used to. All right, so let's try this again, right? So I didn't save it. So let me go here, delete again, and it's going behind it. Let me make this, bring this to the front, go up to the top, and let me delete. And let me just go double check this. So here, lesson 1, we wanted it to open up right here on the 1 page. So if I click here, go to set link, and it's going to open up to page 1. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and still take a look at this when we go through it. So I'm going to just go ahead and finish up with selecting save. Now, the next thing I want to do, so here I've created, and again, as I mentioned, I was just going to create an outline for your page, but you can get really, really creative and change the background, add images. Again, this is part of your website, so you can do so much things with this and get it as close as you can to your specific branding, which is the benefit of this. But the con of this is, again, if somebody goes through here, it's not going to be able to track their specific progress, the test results and things like that, right? Whereas opposed to the e-learning tool will do exactly that for you. So now what I want to do is remember the 3 pages that I talked about. So we need a header for this page, and this page here. So if I drop this down and decrease this, what I want to do is I want to go right over here. And I am just going to do this the generic way. You could do a couple of things. You can go into panels and you can go up here to header and select your actual header, and it's going to bring in the exact same entire thing. But for this example, I'm just going to create a blank panel. Go right down to the bottom here. Go to elements. When I select elements, I'm now going to go to my menu option. And you could do this, and I want to mention this because people will do things differently, right? You could do a global element, right? You can go into your global elements page in Cheetah, and you can create a header and specify where you want that header to show up per page, right? So again, there's different ways of doing things. It's entirely up to you on how you want to do it. So let's see here. So we're on this page. That might be it. That might be why. All right, so I want to right click here. Next thing I want to do is just configure the color of my background. And I just want to make this a little bit darker here. So now let's position this here. Let me shrink this up by right clicking. Going up to the top, I'm going to select size, and I'm going to change the minimum height here so that I can shrink this and make this a little bit smaller here. Okay. Now what I want to do is let me open up this window. It's a lot easier for you to maybe see, but if I open this up, I right click on this panel, I can go right down here and go to move panels. And I'm going to move this to the top, select move. And so now my option shows up. Now my menu shows up right up here, my header. So now I can adjust this exactly how I want. I could change my colors. I'm not worried so much about the cosmetic part of this, right? I just want to kind of just share with you what you could do and how you could do it. So now what I want to do is I want to pull open the login area. So I'm going to go select return. And once you create a protected area, once you go in here and you create a restricted members area, you're going to see this option come up under your elements. That won't show up if you don't have a restricted area. And it's nothing really big. What it does, it allows you to have this login and register button, which you can use and you can create another way as well. But I like to use this way. Okay. So now what I want to do, so now I have the menu that's only going to be displayed for my protected members only area. Okay, so here is my menu. So the first thing I want to do here is right click on it. I want to click on this little gear icon, and I'm going to go ahead and delete these here. I'm going to click on the pencil icon. I'm going to change this to members area. I'm going to select save. I'm going to click on this little link icon, and I'm going to go to members area menu, select that, and then select. Next, I'm going to go to the about page. So here, I'm going to change. I'm going to add this. I'm going to call it Cheetah Course. Go here. Go to page. Select that one there. And then here, I'm going to have the e-course. So let's go ahead and name this e-course here. Oops. Well, I could still go in here and change it. Sorry. And I'm going to remove these submenus. The other thing when you're working with menus, what you're going to want to do, especially if you have submenus, is make sure that you select layer up. Because if you don't set that and you have these drop-down menus for them, they may show up behind this specific panel. So just a quick little tip there. And so next, what I want to do is go over here to the right, and I want to configure the login and register area. So if I click here, I'm going to go ahead and select set link. And here's where I'll go in and set exactly what actions I want to happen when they register, log in, and log out. So for register, what I want them to do is I want to keep normally redirected to the page here. And I want them just directed to, well, when they register, I want them to go to that thank you page where I'm going to have the video kind of just welcoming them as a member, and as well as reminding them about the lead magnet. Really depends on however you have it set up. For the login area, I want to just simply go right here to the members area menu where they'll have the option to navigate wherever it is that they want to navigate to. And then the log out option, same thing. I want to go ahead, since I really don't have a home page, right, and it's set inside of a funnel, I want to go ahead and just go in here and use my members area homepage, right, that I'm working on creating here. So I'm going to go ahead and select save. So now we have in my members Cheetah area. So again, if I pull up this tool here, we've got it set right in here. So now what I want to do is I want to add that same header here and here. So to do that, if you remember what Jackie mentioned on Monday here, you can save these specific elements or personal elements. So if I right click here, okay, so I want to make sure that that note wasn't for me. So, okay, so if I I'm sorry, I don't have to right click. We're going to just leave this cosmetically left alone. This is all set. I want to go right up here and I want to select save element. So when I save the element, what I could do is go in and give it a name. And I'm just going to name this the date. I like to kind of, and membership or members, right? I'm going to save it. And so now what I want to do, this is all saved. I want to go to those areas or those same exact pages. So e-course was one of them. I could just leave since I saved already. And so what I could do, this is the actual modern thing that I've been working with that I'll show you as we kind of go through here. So what I want to do is go up here to personal. I want to select panels. And so from the drop-down menu, I should see my header that I just saved, which is right here. If I click on the plus sign, it's going to bring it in to my actual page. Let me close that there. Let me go right down here. And it didn't carry over my login. And that's okay. So let's go ahead and let's just reposition this here. It may have, or it may have just fallen off, you know, who knows. So now what we could do is right click here. Well, let's bring in our settings. And first, let me move this up to the very top. So let me go to move panels. And I'm going to move this, drag and drop to the top, select move. And since we already know what those settings are, it's really easy to go back in here and bring in that specific item. And that's why I didn't spend so much time changing the colors and all that good stuff. So again, if I click on links, I can go in here and set what I wanted to do. And let's do this. Oops, sorry. All right, and now let's go ahead and select save. Now, my question is the second time a charm? Well, we're going to find out. So let's go in here and let's just call this charm. Okay. And so we're going to save the element. And we're going to go ahead and click save here, which is probably what I was missing in that last one. I didn't hit that save that last time. Okay. And so here, we now have the member area menu that we still need to do. I'm going to go ahead and select save and exit. Okay. So now I'm going to go to personal, select panels. From the drop-down menu, I'm going to scroll all the way down and then select charm. Good old lucky charm. Select the plus sign. Remember that game, press your luck? No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Bam, I got a whammy. It's okay. So we're going to go ahead and right click here, open this right back up. Boy, it worked during the infomercial. So it worked during preseason. So if I go here, again, since we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and just add this button again. Close this out and go to links. Same thing. I'm going to set this up, membership area menu. Oops, sorry. Thank you page. And select save. All right. Now let's pull this right back out. Right click in this area to move the panels. Right here, going to move this up and we're going to select move. All right. So now I don't really need to do anything right here because once they log in, just for the sake of training, you're going to have your two options where you can navigate right up here. Okay. So what I want to do next is I want to just save this. And I want to select that's fine. All right. I don't want to do anything with that there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to close this out. Okay. And I want to take you back into this area right in here. And let me make sure I've republished. Everything's good. Okay. When you go in here and you create your members area, just as I did, you can actually go in here and create an additional members area, a different level. So when I do this, it will add, if I have additional pages that you don't want to allow access, the same access as these guys right here, you can create a different level. You can create multiple different levels. Okay. For the sake of this training, we're just going to keep it simple. So don't confuse you any more than I probably have already. Okay. And so over here on the left, what I want to show you is once you have validation that your members area has been set up, you're going to see it show up right down here. You should get this. Okay. So you can actually go in here and you can edit this. So as you're working through and you're creating more pages, you can go in here and do the exact same thing, add more pages exactly how you want to do it. So for this example, let me go down here and didn't do anything, but let's just go ahead and cancel. Once your members area has been created, this is showing you validation that it has, right? You can now go over here to the left. Boy, has this gotten pretty busy, right? Since we first started a couple years back. Now you've got all these amazing, powerful shortcuts that you can get into, which is super cool. One being site members. So once you validate your membership right in here, you're going to have site members come right up. So when you select here from the drop-down menu, you're going to be able to view all of your members. So if I click here, everyone that's registered for your membership will show up right in here. Now, if you want to go in here and manually create a membership, you can add a new user, go through here, add all the information here, select save, add your permissions, and you're set. Now what we want to do is go right back down here and show you the members area form. So this is the actual registration membership form that you can actually go in and add fields to. Okay. You also have the option to go over here and change your advanced settings. Here it says password not required at registration. When enabling this option, an automatic password will be registered. So you can actually send an automatic password rather than having them set up one for themselves from the get-go. And then you have the option to set up social proof. Okay. Down here, you have the option to change form theme. So as you can see, the default theme when I showed you, hoping to kind of just show you what changes I made, the actual login screen came up. So from the drop-down menu, you can select 3 tabs, 2 tabs, 2 columns, and so on and so forth. So let's go back to default. Down here, you can change the background color. You can add a background image. If you add a background image, let me just kind of give you a sneak peek here if I can. Hopefully this doesn't break anything. So let me go here to save. And so if I go back in here, let's see if this will do it. And let's say I open up a password protected site and just to go view it. Let's see here. Oh, so sorry. So let me go right down here and finish this part up. This is good. Let me select save. And now let's give it a whirl. Let's see. Not sure if this will work either. So here you have your image show up. Thank goodness. I'm about to light one of those candles with a prayer on the side, right? I should have did that before this actual training started, but anyhow. All right, so that's giving you a good example of how to add an image to the background, right? And then you have additional options. So let me close this so I don't confuse myself. You have additional options that you can go through. I can go in and delete this. The home button access, you could display whether or not you want that little home button icon on your actual login area. So the one I just, when I just tried to log in, there was that little home icon right there. And then down here is your senders. So by default, you're going to have any email sent to members or new members once they join your membership area. You're going to send them an actual email. You'll send them an actual email. Any responses that they receive will come from noreplybuilderall.com site, right, or an account. So if you want to add your actual email here, you'll have to go into Mailing Boss and create a sender email, get it verified, and then it'll show up as an option for you to use. Okay, so for this example, I've been here already, so I'm going to use this one right here, and I'm going to keep this right here for senders for integrations, keep it at no reply, and I'm going to go ahead and select save. All right. So now what I want to do is keep going, go over here, and so when I go down to the automatic email area, here is going to automatically send a default email when somebody registers. It's going to have their email address that they registered with, as well as the password that they set up. So if you want to go in here and make it your own, you can go in here and just put, let's call this welcome, right? You're going to welcome members. Once you create your automatic email theme, you can click right here where the title is. And then it's going to open up and you can actually customize your welcome email to receive however you want to receive it, just as you would like Mailing Boss when you do your welcome email there. Okay. So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and just keep this the same. I'm going to save it, but just know you can go in and edit and as well as delete. Okay. And then finally, we have the integrations. So you have some tools that you can integrate the membership option with. So you have JVZoo, ClickBank, Digistore 24, Digital Manager Guru. And guess what? After this, Jackie's going to show you exactly how to use this part of it. Other than that, we're going to mosey right along. Okay. So now, next thing I want to do is let's go back to my pages, right? So back at my pages again. So kind of just recap what we did is I kind of just showed you the different pages that we're going to have password protected. I went in here, created a members area to protect or restrict those areas. Now what I want to do is I want to go over here and go into super checkout. You ever get a feeling of intimidation when you click on a certain tool and you're just like, I don't know, fully about that tool or whatever. Super checkout used to be one of those tools for me. And it might be still one of those tools for me as I go through this training. So to first get started, when you first start using super checkout, don't forget you have to go in here and create your profile and all that good stuff before you get released this screen where you can add products. So we're going to go in here and add a product. I'm going to go right here and let me go into my library of images here on my other monitor. And so for product info, I'm just going to drag this image right in here. That's not the way to do it. Because this one you can drag and drop. I'm so used to drag and dropping inside the e-learning tool. Okay. So this is a 200 by 200. I think somebody was asking about this yesterday. I've got a 200 by 200 pixel image right in here. Okay. And it looks perfect when you go in here and you crop it. But when you select OK, it's going to cut the sides of it off a little bit. So if you have any wording when you're creating this actual images for your products, you may want to center the important wording right towards the middle, which is centering. It's the same as centering. Anyway, so let's go up here and we're going to call this members 1 area. So now we can go right down here and we're not going to go in and type a full description. I'm going to go ahead and enter paste right in here. You can change your type right in here. I'm going to go ahead and just leave this the same. I'm going to save. And so as you go through, what you want to do is just go through each one of these options right here down below when you create your first product. Of course, I'm sure you guys already know that. So I want to test. It's going to be a test account in sandbox mode inside PayPal. So I'm going to go ahead and select the one I've already gone in here and created. Currency, again, let me just type U a couple of times. It's going to go down to US dollar. Single payment. I'm going to go ahead and just do this one as a single payment. And the price is going to be $24.95. Don't forget, you can buy this at the end of this course or this end of this tutorial. So down here, we're going to leave it as is. I'm going to do save and continue. Product quantification. This is a new tool, which is super cool. It allows you to discount at a certain quantity, but it doesn't do me any good for a membership site. So I'm just going to go ahead and save here. Affiliation. I'm not going to have any affiliation ties with this actual membership site. So I'm going to go ahead and select save. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this 3-step checkout. I'm going to select that here. So down here, select your thank you or your upsell. So my thank you page, where do I want them to go once they purchase my membership? I'm going to go right down here to the actual thank you page and then select the page where you will sell this product. I'm going to go in here to the actual checkout page. to sell it. And then now I want to go right here, save and continue. And so my mailing boss, I want to still tie in this membership, my mailing boss list with this specific purchase. Use default thank you email message. I'm going to go ahead and just use the default thank you message. And of course, you can trigger abandoned cart reminders. For this example, I don't need to do that. And then here's an important part right here. So let me go ahead and save and continue. This here is your restricted area. So what you want to do is you want to go in here and set your restricted area. Make sure that it's all set. So for this example, I think we're good here. Oh, select this one here. I apologize. So the one, members one, I'm going to add unlimited access. If you want to change the unlimited access, you can uncheck that and then select the time that you want this to expire in. Then down here, oh, let's not forget to select save and continue. And then next we have, let's go back into integrations. So for integrations, the only thing that's going to apply to this is registering a new student in e-learning. Okay, so this is where things may become a little bit kind of confusing here, because we have a membership site that's going to take a login for you to access the membership site. And then we have a registered, you allowing yourself to register a student to the e-learning course, right? Which is pretty amazing, because when I was testing this, I'm going to go ahead and select the course. But what this did for me is that when we went through the whole super checkout process, the membership that I used to create or access the members area was the exact same login that I would use to create or access the e-learning course, which I thought was pretty cool. I was afraid that there'd be two different logins, okay? And I think a lot of that has to do is how you set up your e-learning. So now let's go right down here. We're good. We're going to go ahead and save. No shipping issues. Terms of use, go down here, select the check mark area here, accept the terms and conditions. We're going to select save and continue. Okay, so here's our product now. So here we have members one for $24.95. And the next thing you want to do from here is just grab hold of the links. So here I'm going to have a sales page, thank you page, and the checkout URL. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this here. I'm going to go into my Cheetah website right here, and I am going to go to the checkout page. So here, if I go to edit page, you may see a different one already in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, okay, and I'm going to go to general settings, and I'm going to erase this link, and I'm going to put my new checkout link right in here and select apply. And so here we go. Go up here, select save. And that's fine. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to go in here and see if we can get this to go here. And so I'm going to go in here and type in my email address. This morning, I heard a song from Kenny Rogers, and for some reason, he must be thinking about me, right? He picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille, the gambler. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and select Get Instant Access. I'm going to go ahead and press there to register Kenny Rogers. It's now going to take me to my video sales page where I'm going to say, hey, yeah, by the way, listen, I got a great membership. I got an offer for you, right? And again, this isn't as creative as I'm sure many of you guys could do. Again, this is just for the sake of training. So they'll watch the video and say, you know what, I may want to do this. If not, they can select no, thank you, and go straight down to the download, right? So for here, I'm going to go in and select yes, I want it. And let me go in here and make this a little easier. Make this smaller here. I'm going to go down to checkout, select continue. And so as you can see, got a couple and let's just go ahead and so I've created my membership login credentials right in here inside my purchase page, right? My purchase area. Now I can go down here and I'm in sandbox mode. So I'm going to go ahead and select debit or credit card. And let's open this up. Let me grab my sandbox credit card number here. Let's go right down here. San Antonio, my number. Call me. Go right here. All right, don't want to create a PayPal account, so I'm just not going to check there. Everything should be good. If it doesn't accept, it's going to let me know. So if I go to pay now, hopefully this works. And so now I land on my thank you page here, and I may not have redirected to the page that I wanted to. So we'll see here. So here's the congratulations. Here again is going to be the thank you page where you go in and thank them for becoming a member. Tell them a little bit more about your membership site, as well as remind them about that lead magnet that they originally registered for at the very beginning, right? All they have to do is go find that email that either landed in spam or promotion or inside their email inbox, open it up, subscribe. Once they subscribe, it's going to take them right directly to that download so that they can access that, that lead magnet. Okay, so now all you have to do is go right up here to log into our members only area. Here's our login. Oh. And let's go ahead and try to log in here. So here is the menu area. So again, this is where we're at right here. This is where we were, right? We clicked on to log in. We had the login screen. So this is the menu area that we're at. So I have two options here. I can go and access my course inside Cheetah. And here it is. Go right down here. And I don't think for some reason it saved all that stuff there. But here's my actual e-course. So let's go back in here. And I guess I'm wondering why this didn't happen. So kind of strange. But when you create your actual course inside Cheetah, it would have shown up right in here, right? Just as we were working through and going through and doing it. So there's two things. One is here's your login. So remember the login button and the log out button. My login as a user will be right here. If I go here to eCourse, it's automatically logging me in to the actual eCourse here. So that is essentially how you set up a membership inside your Cheetah. Okay. So now what I want to do is just kind of show you the actual theme, right? We're going to kind of work backwards here with the new e-learning tool. So this was created inside e-learning, right? And this is the new e-learning modern theme. And so when you go here, you have different options up at the very top. And as I scroll down on my homepage, I'm going to have modules that I've gone through here and created. Now, each one of these modules, you can go through and you've heard it throughout the week and you hear it all the time and you see it inside the community. Canva, if you're not familiar with Canva, don't be intimidated by Canva. Canva is a really good, cool tool that you can actually use to create some of these and really kind of set your branding and kind of get things looking and feeling a little bit better here. So as I scroll over to the right here, I've got my different modules. Over here, what I did was I changed the colors of my actual survey and my final test. Hey, if I scroll down and continue, here's what my live would look like. All you have to do is just once you go live inside YouTube, you can share that link and add it right into here. And I'll show you that here in a little bit. Next, you have additional options. So here you could do, what you could do is you can take additional alternative courses or additional courses that you've created, and you can pull them in right down here as an upsell. You can add the link that goes straight to checkout, or you can actually add the link that goes straight to that specific e-learning. And when they go to register, however you have it set up, they will either be taken to the checkout page or be able to create a login from there. Again, depending on how you have it set up in e-learning. And we'll go through that here in just a bit. Next, you have your options for your social media. And that's pretty much what the first page here looks like. So before we go into the actual, let me go here. Let me click on this. So module 1, if I click on module 1, it's going to take me into module 1 and then display all of my lessons inside that specific module. So here I have create an account. Same thing here, I have lesson test. So lesson 1, here's the lesson test for lesson 1. Lesson 2, here's the lesson test for lesson 2. Okay, and you can keep on adding as many lessons as you want for that specific module. Okay, so to show you, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click right here. And this is going to take me inside my actual first lesson. So I've got a YouTube, the content that is being displayed is my YouTube video. And then down here, you have some links where you can add files specific to that specific lesson. Okay, and then you also, at the end, you can ask a survey. So what did you think of this lesson? They can go in and enter their notes right into here, as well as if they're going through a pretty extensive lesson, let's say you had a 2-hour video or something, and they didn't understand somebody, a student didn't understand the content or was kind of stuck, they could submit a comment. And then from the instructor's point of view, you can actually, you'll have the same control area where you can add additional resources. So you can go in and plug in an additional PDF file for them inside this specific lesson so that it will help that user as well as future users who might be stuck or don't understand something about your specific lesson. So cool things that you could do with that. Once you're done here, you can exit the lesson. Let's go to lesson test. And then here's a lesson test. It's a true false. So this lesson test is super easy. You can go right here to true, select finish test. And I might have it set to, it depends how I have it set inside eLearning. So we'll take a look at that. And I'll go back in here. So what I want to do now is, let me go back to the home screen. And I'll show you what I mean when I go back over there. Now let's go through the about page. So you have your about page, your FAQ page, your live page, ask instructor, my progress, profile. So if I click on the about page, you can set this to either show up or not show up inside your actual eLearning. And when you do, you'll come up with a little text editor. You can get pretty creative with that text editor right in there. So when you click on the about link, you are likely to want to know more about this specific course. So instead of typing it, what you could do is you can grab a YouTube video and tell them about that specific course, what they can maybe expect from the different modules, the different lessons, and so on and so forth. And whatever it is that you want to talk about right in here. So what I did was, again, I grabbed this from YouTube. I uploaded my video to YouTube. I grabbed the embed code from that and then plugged it into my actual text editor. So now we have the FAQ page, the live page. Again, once you're logged into your live, you'll have access right here to the comment section. Ask instructor. So again, if you have an overall question for your instructor, you can go ahead right here and ask them. You can check out your My Progress page. So again, these are different images that I selected for each one of these areas. And then next I have my profile page and then your logout. So with that, before I move on to the actual e-learning, is there everybody still tracking, alive? Everything
Yeah,
good?
we're still alive and you're doing a fabulous job. And they're super excited to see what you can do in the membership area. I think there's a couple of comments of, holy cow, we didn't know we could do that. And now I'm sure you're going to get ready to blow them away with the e-learning.
Awesome. Thank you, Shelly. All right, so let's go here. Oops, sorry. All right, so now here we are inside the actual e-learning tool where you go in and create your e-learning course. Now, again, remember there was two different ways to create a course. One is using this tool right here. The other way is to go in and use the Cheetah course builder, which guess which one I should be using, right? I should be probably using this one. But anyhow, I've got a finished product page that I'll show you in a different example. But just to let you know, now that we've got that modern theme look, right? I think a lot more people will be utilizing that one there. But I don't want to take away the benefits of using a course created inside Cheetah, because that is a great opportunity for you to put all the bells and whistles, really create an engaging course. And just as an intro, so you could just do one module with 2 lessons and then lead them to buying the whole entire course, which can be built right here inside your e-learning. So for this example here, what we're going to be working with is a blank e-learning course. This is the one that I've went in and I've added all the images, but we'll start brand new, fresh. But first, what I want to do is I want to show you the options that you have for the specific e-learning course. So you got to see one done, created, right? Or most of it done, at least. So what you could do next is you have some options here. You have the option to go in and edit the course, grab the embed code. Here you can see the course data. And then here from the 3 dots, if you click here, you could duplicate the course. You can transfer the course. So if any of you guys want a specific course that you're creating, or you're working with someone under your team, in your team, right, in your downline, you can share your courses and do exactly that, as well as delete your course. So this is the actual e-learning course that I had tied to that specific membership area. So again, if I go right in here and I click on course data, you're going to have a couple options. You're going to have inbox messages, messages that they sent you from that main page when we looked at the modern theme. You have your student list. So you have a variety of different students that have gone through here. Here I have Kenny Rogers, right? So he's shown up right in here. And then down here, if I click on test results, you can go here and it's going to show you the test results wherever it is that you created a test inside your e-learning course, okay? So next, go down here to comments. If there's any comments provided to you throughout any time someone's in a lesson, they'll show up here as well. Hey, so this is a good little area not to forget about. Sometimes I'll forget about it, and I thought I would forget about it now with this training. So I'm glad I was able to remember that. So to start off fresh with creating a course, all you got to do is go right here to create a course, and let's just call this new course. Oh boy, fat fingers. Go in and enter my name. Category from the drop-down menu, you can select a category that already currently exists. Now you're going to see some categories with little trash can icons over to the right. Those are customized categories that you can also create. So for example, if I go here, I can delete that one right there, and then I can add a category. So I can go here to add a category, right? And I could just, I can add tutorials or whatever it is that you want to add. It's going to show up right here, and it will now show up as a category drop-down option for future courses that you create. Next, we go in here, and now we have the option to add a course icon. So let me go into my area right in here. I'm going to try to make this a little bit quicker for you. And oh, here's where I can drag and drop. You see, I almost got confused again. So we're going to go ahead and select next. And now we have the option to create new course. So once you create new course, you're going to come right inside here where it seems like a lot of stuff to fill out. And quite frankly, it is, right? But that's okay. So we're going to just go through here. And I'm just going to kind of show you the roundabout, and then I'll go back into the actual e-learning course that I created with the more details, okay? So here up at the very top, you have the option to change the name of your course. You can also change right here the actual little icon of your specific course. And here you have your first text editor that introduces your actual course. And then down here, you have your enable about page. This is the page that I was talking about, how you can enable it and show it, and also use the text editor to be able to use or embed your YouTube video. And not to forget, up at the very top, I've got this general slider button right here that's going to enable and disable your course, right? Just from the flick of a little toggle switch right here, you're set. So we're going to go ahead and leave that on. As you keep going down here, we've gone through all of this here. These are your workload hours. So you can go in and actually summarize the total amount of workload hours your actual course will take, or you can go here and calculate by lessons. If you calculate by lessons, when you go through each lesson, it's going to ask you for the time limit for each lesson. And there is where you'll enter it in and you're good. So here you have your purchase icon displayed to students on a purchase page. So here, if I go to, well, I won't go through here and add each one of these. This will take some time, but just to kind of give you an idea, you want to pay really close attention to these recommended pixel size images right here. That's really going to help really deliver a good, crisp, modern theme final product, okay? Down here, you have allow to ask questions to your instructor. And let me make sure I'm not in another section. Okay, down here, I can go down here and start typing my email. Here you have the option to show search bar. So work only if registration is not required or student is logged in. We're going to go ahead and just keep that just as is. And here's the outgoing default email that automatically is set up. Now, again, if you registered a sender email account inside Mailing Boss and you verified it, right, it will show up right down here. So I'm going to go ahead and change it to my email address. Down here, you can add analytics code. And now that we're done in this section, you can continue on. I'm going to go ahead and just go up here, just select save. And now here's where you can go in and again, drag and drop instructor info. And so if I drag and drop this here, you can go down here, enter your expertise. Next, you have registration and protection. Now, this is going to be really, really important. I think as you create your actual e-learning course, right, it's super important that you remember how this is set. And I'm kind of a little baffled here. I might have done something wrong in the steps, but here, this option, I have registered, not required to view content, meaning as you create lessons and you create modules, you're not required to register the student, right? The student's not required to register in order to be able to access that content, right? They will be able to go into the lesson, view your YouTube videos and all of its contents. And this is if you set it to this right here, okay? This one here is registration required to view content, which is what we want to do, especially if we've set up the way we just did set up a paid course, right? We want them to be able to register to be able to access any of the content, the meat and potatoes that we put into this, okay? And then also you have some lessons require registration. So here you can have access where somebody accesses your module, right? And the first lesson, they're able to see it without no issues. And then the second lesson, they'd have to register in order for them to access that. So you can set that up exactly like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and kind of play around with these just so you can see the different options inside the lessons, okay? And I'll show you that here in just a bit. So I'm going to keep it to some lessons require registration, okay? Next is close registration. If you close registration, then That's exactly what you're doing. You're closing the registration and not allowing anyone to register unless they go through the checkout process. So just like we went through, we created a checkout process. They'll be able to still register if they go through that checkout process and not through just regular creating an account or new account, okay? And then here, your URL to navigate on logout, where you want them to navigate once they log out. Same thing, custom registration URL. Pay close attention to these because once you connect to Super Checkout, what will happen is based off of your Super Checkout selections, when you created a product, right? Those links, right? Like the checkout URL and all these other links will pop up right in here. They'll pre-populate in here once you're done with the Super Checkout and you've tied it into your actual e-learning course. Okay, next you have automatically activate new registered students. We have that set to automatically do exactly that. If not, then you'll have to actually go in and do it manually. Require email confirmation. That might be a little bit much. Doing it this way might have someone say, hey, I'm not able to access, like we did. As soon as we made the purchase, we got a membership and we tried to log in. Had I not been able to log in, I would have thought something might've been wrong with my account, right? So this is why I leave it just like this. I don't require email confirmation. And then capture students' email to Mailing Boss. You can go right in here and do the exact same thing and add collect their email info right in here. Multi-level student access. This is where you'll go in and set student level access for different lessons. Okay, so you can create, so let's go in here and let me go in and do it enable. So here you can go in and do bronze, right? We're going to call it bronze, and access level description. Let's just still call it bronze, and navigate if they don't have the access level. You can create pages to do exactly that. So I'm going to go ahead and create this, and I'm going to go ahead and create another one here, and I'm going to call this silver. So now I've created two different access levels that you'll see how we set up when we create a lesson. Okay, now we have protection settings. You can go in here and specify the specific page where you want to allow your e-learning to open up to. And then, so from here, let's go up here and select save. And so now we have our modules and lessons. This is pretty much the fun part. Now you can go through here and now add your modules. So to add a module, you can click right here. You can go up here to the plus sign and add a module here. So if we click here, we're going to go ahead and give this a module, the module a name, module 1. And just for the sake of training, we're going to call the description module 1 as well. Here we have the recommended image size right in here. So I can go into my library of images. And again, I won't do all of these here. But for this module, I could just simply drag and drop. It's that quick to do it. And so when your module is opened up, right, you have the option to add a different background image to that. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag and drop this one right in here. As you can see, it's pretty easy to do. So now let's go ahead and create module. Now, what I want to remind you too is if you want to go in here and you want to change this, let's go ahead and look at these options here. First, I can add a lesson to the specific module. I can show the lessons that are already added, right, which there's none. I can copy this specific module, and then I can go in here and edit as well as delete. So if I duplicate this module, let me go in here and call this module 2, select OK. So now what I could do is if I go in here and I go into edit, I can go in and change. I got to go in here and make sure I change this so that it matches. So module 2, let me go ahead and drag this in here. And same thing goes for this one here. And I won't do this for all of them. And if you, for example, go into your module and you want to change a picture, go in here, change your picture, and don't forget to select edit module, okay? If you do, then it won't update. It'll look like it updates, but it won't update. So make sure that anytime you add or change your image, you select edit module, okay? And we're good. So now to add a lesson, let's say, for example, too, you want to change these, you can left click on your mouse, grab it, and you can reposition these. Just don't forget to click on the pencil icon and then change the actual title if you need to change it, okay? So let's go in here, add a lesson. So now here is where you'll go through and create your lesson. So what I want to show you is the headers up at the very top. You have your general information, you have your content, which is the meat and potatoes of your actual lesson, and you have your drip and access where you can set up drip and you can have it display certain lessons at certain intervals based off of the time that they first registered, okay? And then you can go in here and add links. But as you can see, if I click on links here, I can't add links, I can't add files or do anything with the test. So right here at the general tab, starting from the very top, require student registration to view this course. Remember the option that we did when we first set up the actual e-learning, right? We wanted some courses to have access and some courses for them to have to register for. This is where you'll go in and determine which ones you want them to do that for. So here I have lesson editor. I can require student registration to view the course by just toggle switching. and moving that over. Okay, here I can go in and add my lesson name. I can add text using the text editor before my actual meat and potatoes, and then my text after content. And then down here is where you'll go in and add how long the duration of this specific lesson will be, as well as add the level. Okay, here we have lesson icon. You can add a lesson icon. And again, if I go right here to content, so here under content, I'm going to have the different options of content on how I want to deliver my lesson. I can do it via YouTube video. From the dropdown, I could do a Vimeo, video from computer, video, Builderall Video Manager, Amazon S3. And as you scroll down, you have PDF options, web page options, HTML code, image, and just text. So for this example, let me go ahead and click on YouTube video. And let me go over here real quick. And let me just paste this YouTube video here. And when I go to drip and access, again, it's not going to give me any options here. So if I go to create lesson, my lesson shows up. Now, if I click on the pencil icon, I can now go in here and I could go to content. I can now go to drip and access. And so again, a course should require student registration to allow drip content. It's not going to allow me to go in and set up drip. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save changes here. I'm going to go back to registration and protection. And again, this is just kind of showing you the different options you have when you create your actual course. So the one, again, because we made it one that you can buy or purchase inside Super Checkout, I'm going to select this one right here. Let's go ahead and select save real quick. Let me go back into modules and lessons, select that. And now what I want to do is I want to go back into that lesson and I want to go back to drip and access. So when I go to drip and access, now this is giving me the option to set this up to be released. I'm going to release this lesson at this time frame. So a day after my student registers, I can go in here and select one day, and there you go. When they get to this lesson, they won't be able to access it, right, for that entire day, and it'll have a countdown for them. So these are just some additional options you can go ahead and use. And then for your overall lesson, right, this is the lesson editor. This is where you can go in and set your access level. Okay, so they have to go in and have a certain access level to be able to access this specific lesson. Okay, I'm not going to require any level there. I just wanted to show you how that worked for the sake of training. Here, you could go in and now add new links. You could go in here and add relevant files to your specific course. You can also go in here and create a test. So here you have options to create your test by % of right answers or by values of amount of right answers. So let's go by % of right answers. So here, what is the pass %? Well, I'm going to take 85% as a passing, as to be able to pass this lesson, right? How many attempts will you allow? If I click here, I'm going to allow just one attempt, right? And then here, attempt time, you can go in here and change the time limit on how long they have to be able to answer, to be able to finish this. So now what we could do is we can go in here and select add question. When we go into add a question, we're going to have options as to the type of question we can ask. So we can go up here to the type. Here you're going to have short answer, true, false, multiple answers, multiple choice, and number answer. Okay. So here, if I go here to select true, false, for example, I can go in here and just ask the question, right? True or false, true or false. And here's where you want to mark your answer. So let's go ahead and select true. You can provide a tip if you'd like, and then you can also give that question a point value. So since we're only going to do one question, right, for the sake of training, I'm going to give it a point value of 100, okay? And then next, what I want to do is I want to go over to survey. So you don't have to add a survey at the end of every lesson. It's just an option if you want to do that. And same thing goes for tests. It's entirely up to you. So you can go in here, you can add a survey to the lesson and go in here and add a question if that's what you wish, okay? And then here, this is pretty important. I think it's good for you to have comments at the end of your lesson, depending on how long that lesson is. So here you can disable comments. If you want to enable, it'll be toggled over to the left. And here as the actual instructor is where you can comment yourself as the instructor, as well as provide some helpful or additional resources. Okay, so there we go. And so now you can go over here and you could duplicate a lesson, select OK. And same thing goes for this. You can move these around and adjust this to make this the perfect e-learning that you want, or your course, right? So I think that's that. If I'm by chance missing anything, feel free to let me know, any members of my team. Let me go up here. And now what I want to do is just show you the FAQ. Here you can toggle switch this on or off, left or right. And then now I have, you can add your questions to your FAQ. I'm going to go ahead and leave that off for now. And then down here, we have our final test and certificate. So if I click on final test, here you can go in and by percent, same thing. You could do it by percent or by values. So here, let me go in and add percent. Same thing, do an 85. I'll go ahead and just leave it as is. Add my question. And here you can go in here and do multiple answers, for example. And you could just go in and add your different choices right here. And that's kind of redundant, isn't it? So if I go here and just add a couple, right? And then what you'll want to do is just select those answers for whatever course you have. So if it's all of them, you want to go ahead and select all of them. You can provide a tip, and then go down here. And again, since it's only one question, we're going to give this question value 100%. We're going to go ahead and add the question. And now what we're down to is a certificate. So once you can automatically release the certificate once they've completed the test and they passed, or you can actually go in and manage it and manually do it. So for this example, we have it set to automatically release. And here you can go in and select your theme. So if you choose another certificate theme, you could choose one of these colors here, or you can go in and add a custom theme, right? So if I go in to add a custom theme, you're going to have a workspace area where you can actually go in and create your own certificate, right? So here you're going to have these little labels that you can pull in. So to give you an example, let me go in here and let's just call this sample 2. I'm going to leave it at landscape. The background color, it doesn't matter because the image that I'm going to pull in, and let me show you what I did here. Let me drag and drop this image. And so what I did, again, something you could do inside Canva is create a certificate, right? Since this is something pertaining to like YouTube, video and audio and things like that, you can get really, really creative and go in here and create your own certificate. This is a font right here that actually looks like a signature. Now what I could do is I could just go right in here, add label with course name, add label with student name. So the course name, if I'm creating a certificate from scratch, I've already gone in here and did my own course name. So I don't need that one there. But what I could do is I could just click on this. When I click on it, it's going to enter right up here. When you let go of this after positioning it, you're going to have some options over here show up on the right. So from here, you can align this and center it. And then you can position this exactly where you want it and make it as big as you want it. So if I go here, I'm going to select Lido and the color, I can go in here, change the color to maybe match a little bit closer to my signature. And then the course completion date, I can go in here and add, for example, the label with the test date. So if I click there, same thing, I'll position it where I want. And I'm going to align this. I'm going to center this and same thing. Let me just pick something that's maybe close to that. And you're set. So this will automatically automate, right? I can go here to add theme. And now my theme will show up right over here, my sample 2 theme. So I'll go over there and select that. And then you can also alter the email that gets sent. So you can go in here and add your own title. If you don't want just the basic one to be sent, you can go in here and change this using these tags right up here, however you want. Okay. And then next you have a theme, which is what we'll jump into here in just a bit. But the one I want to jump into before that is the student motivation. So here you can go in and you can add achievements that can get unlocked. And I'm just going to generically add these here. You can write the description as to why you want to add or why you're awarding that achievement. And let's go right up here. Let me just kind of show you. And so if I drag and drop this image, right? So they completed maybe the first lesson. So these down here is setting the rule as to how they will achieve or be rewarded that achievement. So student needs to stay in the course for this amount of hours. Student needs to go to course this amount of days in a row, or student needs to pass tests with this amount of points. So here you can go in and select the test. So I can go in and select lesson 1 test and how many points does the student need in order to receive that achievement. So let's just go ahead and type 85 or better, right? And then you can go ahead and create. All right, so now what I want to do is go to theme. So once you've set kind of really the meat and potatoes and you've gone through each of these, you can go in and set the theme on how you want to go in and present this. You could use the standard theme, okay? So when you use the standard theme from the drop-down menu, you're going to select standard, and you're going to have a couple options here. Here you have the option for students to be able to edit the theme once they're actually logged in. You also could display progress of lessons to students, which we're going to go ahead and keep both of these toggle switches on. And here you can, on the main page, you can display a basic standard page. You can use an iframe, an image, or an HTML code, okay? So down here you have the favicon that you can use for your specific theme. And so what I want to do is I want to go right in here and I want to show you. So this is how you can actually go through and change the look and feel using the standard theme of your course here. And over on the right here are the different options, the theme options that you'll go through and select and set however it is that you want to set it using the standard theme. So you have full width, you have boxed, nav bar. You could change your primary colors, your secondary colors. So now what I want to do is go right back up here. And to get into that, just click on this little rotating gear and it will get you right back in here. Let's go in and save the theme settings. Now, again, once your student is logged in, let me see if I can change. Here's the home page here. So this is what the standard would look like. And for some reason, I'm not sure why it's not displaying. It might be because of how I'm logged in here. So once your student logs in, they'll have the option to click on this rotating gear and actually change the look and feel if you give them that option, okay? So now let me exit out of here. And so now let me just show you from the drop down and go here to modern. Here you can go in and change the font family displayed in your modern theme. You could change the actual font size, the different background colors, your text color, the buttons that show up, and your text colors, your button text colors inside. So here are the different pages that you will need to replace here, right, in order to make your modern theme really stand out. And I highly recommend that you follow these exact same recommended pixel sizes here, and it will really, really look pretty cool. So once you select, if you select the theme, modern theme, okay, what's going to happen is if you scroll down, the last option is not going to be student motivation anymore. You'll have modern theme settings. So when you click on modern theme settings, here is where you can actually go in and add your YouTube live on main page link. So if I go here, this is where it's asking for your YouTube link. Set it right here, select save. And then next you have additional items on main page for upsell, which were the 2 different courses that I showed you. And I'll show you again here in a little bit. And then your social links. So go in here and apply whatever social links you wish to apply. Okay, name it, and then just select save for each one of these. Just don't forget to name it, okay? And then down here, you have more items used on purchased page. You can go in here and add that as well. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna go right up here, select save. So hopefully, if anything, the most important thing too is just reminding yourself or to remember this registration and protection. Hey, because some things as you go through, you may be thinking, hey, this isn't doing exactly what I want it to do. Chances are this is toggle switched or selected incorrectly. This is where the majority of my issues came from when I was doing this. So just as a quick tip. So now what I want to do is I want to go back to course, and I want to just show you this one again right in here. I want to go in to edit course. And this is what I was talking about when I enabled the about page. You can get really creative using these text editors, okay? And so as I go down to modules and lessons, click here and just go in here and all the images and stuff are added. So let me go right up here and just grab the embed code here, this link. And let me use this link here. I got my the little Zoom area showing up. I couldn't enter that link. So here again is the final product when creating a theme course using the modern theme inside your e-learning tool. And that pretty much sums up my portion. I guess I'd like to invite the rest of my team back. If I missed out on anything, I'll be more than happy to answer whatever questions you guys may have. But thank you guys. Hopefully it was, you learned something.
Wow, great job. Yeah, there was a lot of comments in there about how excited they were. about the membership area and about the e-learning, and specifically about the e-learning and how it looks. And you did a great job of taking them through and showing them the images part and how to put the images in, because that is the critical part to make that new modern theme really pop out. And we've seen some really good examples of some of the members already that are doing a fantastic job with the modern theme. And what it is going to take is just you clicking in there and trying some pictures. I saw a great training video today of someone that actually took a bunch of pictures and put them in different ways and different kind of positions on the screen to see which one would be the best one to show the exact thing that she wanted to show in that modern theme. So it does take some testing, and it's not as easy as just taking an image and plopping it in there because there's just so many nuances with it. So my suggestion is take this training for sure and munch on it again, because you're going to want to probably go through it again. Make sure you look at the knowledge base. I dropped the link in there to the knowledge base that has all of the image sizes that you need, and also a link to a share for Canva for each one of the sizes, so that you can actually use Canva for free to be able to build your images actually really quickly and add them to e-learning. And then just keep clicking and playing with that new modern theme, and you'll figure it out. It's just a matter of time. But Frank, you did a fabulous job. And I have to say, I'm going to bust him out a minute. He was a little nervous about today, but I think he did fantastic. And that whole Casey Kasem voice that you've got going just is so comforting as you're teaching. So you did a fantastic job and covered the membership area and e-learning beautifully. So this will be replaying inside of the Facebook group. So no worries if you came in late. I saw a couple of people that posted that they came in late. No worries. This will render on Facebook and it will be available in just a little while, so you can replay it and actually watch it again. For those of you that have seen it already from the beginning to the end, you're probably going to watch it again, because there's so many things in here that were great things that Frank dropped. So thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you guys. We're going to get back to work doing all the stuff that we do behind the scenes, but you guys stay in the system, stay in Cheetah, stay in e-learning, stay in the membership areas, stay in those places and keep playing with them and working with them. They are just the membership area, and the e-learning is a money-making machine. So learn how to use it and you'll be able to dominate this area, because you've got such a great product in Builderall. We will see you guys all over the internet. And until then, don't forget to build something amazing with Builderall. Thanks, you guys. Bye. See you tomorrow.